man. So I was raised to believe that when you died, I just knew it was going to hurt, because of course it would hurt, because it was painful enough knowing that you're going to be judged, because if you're a sinner, not a winner, which that was me. I messed up so much that it's logically going to hurt when you leave your body. I was terrified of dying. Do you guys know what it felt like to die? Totally opposite of that. So when I took that last breath and I let go, oh my God, I could breathe. It was amazing. It wasn't painful at all. How is that possible? And not only that, it was so amazing because I let go and I go right up to the ceiling and I'm looking down at this thing, this shell, which I knew it was me, but it wasn't really me. This was me up there. And it was so much more than that. That had contained it. It had stifled me. And while I appreciated it and I admired it, and I started watching this series of events unfolding, and it was the pastor motioning for the ambulance people to come in, and the two people were starting to do the life-saving measures, the IV and the oxygen, and getting me on the gurney. And I'm just thinking, wow, you know what, that's really nice that they're doing that for me. They're so kind. But it's pointless. And I feel really bad. They should go help someone that needs help, because I'm not coming back. I knew, that I was finally alive. It was amazing. And all of a sudden, as I'm having this, realization, I feel something to my right and just above me. And it was this angelic presence. And so we began to communicate. And I knew it was my time, right? And for whatever reason, I'm looking down and I'm watching the pastor and Rodolfo's just, crying. And I said to the angelic presence, can't they come too? I was talking about the pastor and Rodolfo, because I was they were so helpful, and I just really wanted to do something nice for them, and I knew where I was going. I could feel it was just going to be awesome. And the angelic presence said, it's not their time. And so I just remember just wishing them love and letting go. There's just no human words. It's amazing. God was on my right side. It was like he was hugging me. And as he was holding me, I could feel his unconditional love pouring into every cell of my being. I'd always known this love. I knew where I was. I was home. I was home. And I knew it. There was no doubt in my mind. Well, God and I stood together and we proceeded to watch all these events in my life from that day that I was born, up until that day that I died. And when I died, I was 31. The events that I saw in this life review, I remember one of the first memories was me losing my first tooth and the tooth fairy coming to visit, right? And there was me in 3rd grade winning the spelling bee and having that accomplishment, which was awesome. And then there was awards like athletic awards, cheerleading awards, awards for the newspaper. When you live in a small town, by the way, you participate in everything, because if you don't, there's not enough people. But it was all of these milestone events. Graduating from 8th grade, why we had that, I don't know. But anyway, graduating from high school, graduating from college, getting a nursing degree, getting married, having children. These are all wonderful events, right? And as I'm looking at these events on the screen, I'm living it like a human day again. I'm reliving it. And I'm starting to notice these patterns. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. But these are all things that were accomplishments. And God told me, well, this is what is important to mankind. The awards, the achievements, the accolades. And I had appreciation for them, and I remember knowing, gosh, I'm so fortunate to have had this many years to really experience these wonderful accomplishments. What I saw this time was not at all what I saw the first time. Now I had God's glasses on, so I had a view from heaven. And I got to see what was important, not to mankind, but to God. All right, so here we go. Picture me again, being born that day. Does anybody want to know what I saw? What? What kind of things do you think I saw? Shout it out. What? Parents crying. Okay. Love. You know it. Very first memory I remember seeing is I was like 3 years old with a brownie troop down at the rest home, and I was sitting on elderly woman's lap. She was in a wheelchair by herself, and I was brushing her hair, and my mom couldn't find me, and she was looking through the rooms. Erica, Erica. I was brushing her hair singing, Jesus loves me. No one saw it, but God did. God did. I saw things like rescuing animals. God loved my parents and my family because I've always had a heart for animals, rescuing animals that were hurt. Sticking up for people that were bullied was wrong, and I knew it. Listening and supporting when people needed it. Helping an elderly person with their groceries, just over and over events. But guess what was really interesting about this? The commonality here was a couple of things. Number one, most of these things that I was watching were happening when man wasn't looking, or if they were happening, man wasn't paying attention because they didn't think it was important, it was significant. But God showed me that these were the only things that were important, because each and every one of these things involved one thing, the most important thing, and is the answer: love. Love through our words, our thoughts, and our actions for others and ourselves, which was a huge lesson I had to learn, right? And I was about to learn. So I'm watching these events and I'm understanding for the first time, these are the things that are important to God. You are the rock. You are the light. The light is of me, and I am with you. And as soon as God said that, he let loose the rock, and we stood together, and we watched this rock fall for what felt like a really long time out in front of us. And when the rock got to right about here, I knew it was important to remember what God said, and I'm repeating it to myself. I am the rock. I am the light. The light is of God, and God is with me. And as soon as I repeated that and had that realization, appeared in front of us the largest body of water you've ever seen. You couldn't even see the borders of this water. And into the water, this rock plunged, and it made a significant impact. And one ripple, only one, came out of it. And it was so powerful, and I stood and I'm watching it, and this one single ripple, it begins to grow until I can't even see it past the borders. And God said, mankind is the water, you are the ripple. Like the ripple affects the water, so too does mankind's words, thoughts, and actions affect each other. You see, Erica McKenzie is not a special rock that came back. Each of us are the rock, each and every one of us. If you are living and breathing, I am here to tell you, you are a rock. It's your vehicle. And guess what? You are all the light. The light is of the one that created us. Okay? And each and every one of you, while you're here, you are going to make a ripple, and it is going to affect mankind. But here's the interesting part. God said to me, free will, you get to choose if you let your light shine or not. But you're still going to make a ripple. God said, I have all of these extra gifts for each and every one of you in life, and all you have to do to receive these gifts is ask. But here's the catch. But then, after you ask, you must be prepared to be quiet and listen to receive those gifts. Your gifts, what I was doing, I was stifling my gifts. I'm like, I want different gifts because those aren't, I'm not fitting in with those. No. They're very specific for each and every one of you, and they are to be used with your other gifts. Okay? God said to me, you must start by learning to love yourself. I loved everybody else, but guess what I wasn't doing? And guess what I know a lot of us are guilty of, not just me, right? Right? So, but the problem is I learned that, wow, it's like It's vital. We have to learn to love ourselves. If I didn't learn to love myself and love myself first, then I couldn't fully unlock everything and access it. And that's why I wasn't able to complete my mission on earth yet, because I hadn't done that one part. I couldn't access everything. It's important. But it required me to do something. I had to stop judging myself. You see, when judgment is present, there's no love. And love is the answer. Can I just say one more thing, and then you can cut me off? I'm sorry. It'll be really fast. I just want you guys all to know. I was sent back because that's how important you guys are. I want you to know that each and every one of you are so important. You matter. You are all valuable. And guess what? Your uniqueness is your value. And your value, that's your contribution here on your earthly journey. And each and every one of you are loved. So please know that. Please. Because you are.